there everybody, it's Kathy Champion and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. We have a lot of fun here. I try to teach techniques and give you ideas and inspiration on becoming a better crafter yourself. So I hope that if you are new here that you will find the inspiration you are looking for, and if you do, would you please subscribe to my channel. Help me grow my channel, and that helps me to have a better status with YouTube, and therefore I can bring you better quality videos as I move along. Today I'm going to focus on the Peaceful Nativity stamp set and the Nativity Dies. This is a bundle that's in the holiday catalog. Here's our host code for December. If you use this code and spend $50 before shipping and tax, you will get a free gift from me. Now, if your order is $150 or more, do not use the host code, because Stampin' Up! Will give you free products. The more you spend, of course, the more you earn. But that is a great incentive. If you're one of those people that kind of hold off and wait and you're going to order everything at one time, that is a very good way to take advantage of getting some free stuff with your order. But anyway, I'm going to lay the host code up there for right now because I want to concentrate on what we're doing. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this color palette. And I'm going to do my card out of this cherry cobbler, and I've already cut my piece to kind of speed up the video. So this is a half a sheet, so I put it in the trimmer and I cut it in half, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. So this gives us a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 A2 size card. So that's going to be our card base. I also cut a mat that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to sit on the front of our card like this. So that's this piece. What I did for my stable, let me show you the stamps. The stable is so pretty. I used this stamp set, or this stamp, and all I done was stamped it onto this Crumb Cake, and this is like a light brown. And when I finished cutting it, I went back with a Stampin' Blend marker and I colored, and you can see I just highlighted the beams with the Crumb Cake, and I believe this was the light Crumb Cake. And you could go back and color the hay across the top of it. I went ahead and put some foam on the back because I know I'm going to want to foam this up. But I wanted to show you how I did that. And very simple stamping and using, and there's a die cut, so you don't even have to fussy cut. So then I used this die to cut this out with. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set. So that's how I got my stable. So I've already gotten all of my elements, and let me show you what I did. I cut the trees. I did not stamp trees because there's no trees in here, but you do get these 2 pine trees. So what I did is I went ahead and cut these in black, and I thought they can kind of be in the background, you know, just kind of hanging out back there. And once we get this all glued down, it'll look a whole lot better. Something like that. And then of course we had to have Mary and the baby Jesus and Joseph, so I stamped that again with this stamp right here. And I used my Stampin' Blends. I did put this on Whisper White, and I went over and colored it using my Stampin' Blends. Now I'll have all the information, the colors I used and everything in the description below, along with, it will also be on my blog. So the blog is up and running and working great now. You can go to my blog, and once you're there, you can shop my store, you can access the videos, you can see all of the instructions for all the cards that I've made. Everything is right there in my blog. So, and you can click on the link in this video to take you there. But anyway, we have our Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. And then we needed a little donkey. And then we've got a little sheep. I could not resist the Rejoice. And I think I might have to bring this tree down like so. So I can put Rejoice right there. And then the last thing, the crowning touch, is going to be the star. And the star is going to go right about there. And I love the way this turned out. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. If you're wondering where this label here came from, this is the Rejoice from the stamp set. That's right here. I love that. I think it's gorgeous. And from my Stitch So Sweetly dies, I used this medium. It's the one up from the smallest. And it was perfect for this Rejoice. So, and again, that's the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these dies. I'm hoping they will not retire. All right, let's go ahead and put our card together. I'm going to move this other cardstock out of the way. One other thing I wanted you to know before we get started, I did run this through the Tasteful Texture embossing. And this is it right here, Tasteful Textile 3D embossing. And this gives the most delicate little, almost like a fabric. I don't know if you can see that. It does a great job of embossing. I love that. That's something new in my stash. I just got it this week. And it's one of those things that you definitely sit and wonder, why in the world didn't I have this before now? But it's just one of those things. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull my card over here, and we're going to start adhering this down. Now, I've got dimensions on everything that I want popped up, but the things that I don't want popped up, I am going to put down with some liquid glue. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set that star, because I know that wherever that star is, that's the center of my stable. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and anchor my stable down. And we're going to do this by just taking our backers off, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And these were the small ones that I cut down. And then we're just going to take off each one of these. Alright. And now I've got my star placed where I want it, so this is going to make doing the stable fairly easy. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and put Mary and Joseph inside there. And I'm going to put them right about there. Then I want this little sheep right here at the corner. And then we got our cute little donkey, but we also got these trees, and I want to get these trees. And if you need to cut a piece of these off, do not be afraid to cut. It's very, very easy just to snip an end off of it, about like that, and then you can set your tree where you want it with no trouble. So I think I'm going to put these trees like here and here, but I'm going to use my liquid glue. And we're going to put this one right about here. And I just got a glob of glue on my card. And that's not what I wanted. So I'm just going to take a wipe and just wipe that a little bit. That should dry clear. So let's do the same thing over here, but I don't need to be quite as heavy-handed. And the little donkey's going to go right there, and I think this is going to make such a cute card. I could not let the Christmas season go by and not do a nativity scene, because after all, this is what Christmas really is. You know, I think so many times we get carried away with the gift giving and the gift wrapping and the decorating, but Jesus came and he brought us light, because he is light. And when you think about exactly what he did for us, it is mind-blowing. So I hope that as you're with your family, they are urging people to stay with the people that they live with in their own house and not to venture out. So if you're fortunate enough to have your children all at home, and this is something that you can do, give them all a hug. I love that rejoice right there, because it's giving you reason of why we need to rejoice. I think we need to rejoice because I'm trying to decide exactly where I want to place this. I think right up there at the top is going to work for me. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I'm going to put one on each side and top and bottom just to give it a good anchor. You always want to stabilize anything that you're putting on a card. And in stabilizing, I mean get your adhesives even. Just like that. Alrighty, we're going to put rejoice right about here. Now this piece is ready to adhere, and look at that beautiful little manger scene. I love this. I think it's so pretty. Now we're going to adhere this, and I'm going to use liquid glue, and I'll tell you why, because I'm dealing with this embossing folder, and we don't have an even surface. So the liquid glue does better because it will get into those surfaces and adhere it to the paper. Alright, I'm going to do my same technique. I'm going to put it down to this side, measuring out my top and bottom, and then I'm going to press. And there is the outside of our card done. So now all we need to do is do our inside. So I think what I'm going to do on the inside is I want the blue, and then we're going to do a white. So it'll be red, blue, and white, just like we have it on there. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer out. And we're going to cut this down to 5.5. And then we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Oh, you know what? We're not doing that. We're cutting a mat. Alright, we can cut this down. So I know that I need this mat to be 4 by 5 1/4. So we haven't messed up too bad. 5 1/4. So I'm going to put this in, and we're just going to take this little edge off. So that's going to work for that one. And then we're going to use a white card base, and we're going to bring it down one more. So it's going to be three and 3/4. And 4 and 3/4. So 4 and 3/4 would be right there. All right. So this piece was 3 and 3/4. So this is going to be 4 and, I'm cutting this at 5, but I don't think that's right. I got my measurements over here, but I got them covered up, which doesn't help me very much, does it? Aha. So that it was by 5. Okay. I think we're done with that. So now what we need to do is go ahead and adhere our mats. But before I adhere mats, I like to go ahead and do my stamping. So I am going to go back to the piece on Nativity. And I'm going to use this sentiment that says, "May His light shine in your heart throughout the year." And then I think I'm going to get a Merry Christmas and put under it. I love that sentiment because, you know, Jesus is the light. He's the way and the truth, and that's what the Bible tells us. So we have to believe that. I don't think God's word would lie to us. So I'm going to line this up right here. And then I'm going to stamp right about there. And I think I'm going to use the cherry cobbler. And of course I've got ink on that, but you know what we'll do? We'll turn it over. Alrighty, I'm going to put this right about here. Beautiful. Now I am going to take this to my Stampin' Scrub because we're dealing with a very pigmented ink. I don't want to stain my stamps. If you are in the market for a stamp cleaner, this is the bomb diggity. It comes on 2 sides. You put your cleaner on one side and reactivate it with water, and you have your drying side over here. The good thing is you never get them mixed up because in one corner there is raindrops. There's raindrops in this corner, and in this corner you have a sunshine. So you'll automatically know which side is which I think is ingenious, and that's Stampin' Up. They always come up with these nifty ideas that we may or may not think of. I would say we probably wouldn't. Alright, I'm going to turn this over, and I think I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal on here, and I like the plus. It's a preference, but I do like the plus. And for any of you that are having trouble with the press and seal being right there and having to roll it with your finger, I found out what causes that. This particular adhesive needs to be put down, pressed, and then rolled. And when you come up off of it, roll it up rather than out. And what that does, it reloads the adhesive onto your roller so that next time you get ready to use it, it will be much easier for you. Alright, so this piece is ready to go down. Very, very pretty. Okay, let's bring our card back. Oh shoot, you know what I did? I put it in a landscape instead of, a portrait rather than a landscape. Alright, let's see if we can get this off of here. Okay, we were able to salvage one piece, so let's try this again. And this is going to be at 5. Yeah. We'll measure this to 5 and cut this off, and I think that will give us exactly what we need. Oh, I wasn't even thinking. My brain just hasn't been functioning well today for whatever reason. I'm putting it on the fact that I'm tired. I've had a really, really hard time this morning staying awake. It probably would have done me better to just have kind of canned this and went and took a nap. And get up out of bed and then go take a nap. That tells you doesn't sleep well the night before. Alright, I'm still using the same sentiment, but we're going to stamp it this way. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to clean my hands off before I get ink all over everything. And now let's try this again. I'm going to put the ink pad up. And then we're going to turn this over and we are going to Alright, let's try this again. And this way we're going in this direction. So that looks about right. And we're going to press it. And now we're ready to adhere this to the inside of our card. Again, same thing. I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus. And again, I'm going to do my edges top and bottom. Just like that. And now we have another beautiful card. I think this turned out lovely. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this nativity card. It was so much fun, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to use this beautiful die set. I will check once I'm off video, and I will let you know if this is on the retired list or whether this one's coming back again next year. So if it's on the retired list, you can probably get this at a deep discount. So I'll check on that for everybody. And again, I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up is as good as a comment. But I love to read comments, so if you're one of those persons that have not commented, please do so. Sorry, I had to get a drink because my throat is so dry. But I love the way this turned out. How pretty would this be on sitting up like this on anyone's mantle? Oh, I love it. And you got a good place here to sign. It's matted beautifully, so it has a good rich feel to it. I'm very happy. I hope you are, and I hope that you will continue to show kindness to whoever you come in contact with. You never know what their story is. You know, that rude lady at the grocery store, she may have just gotten a diagnosis that she has terminal breast cancer. That man that pulled out in front of you, maybe he was in a hurry. Maybe he had a sick child at school he had to go pick up. We never know why people do the things they do. But we don't know, and that's why it's so important for us to show kindness in all things. So, as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. I love you all very much, and until we craft again, bye-bye.